Okay. I believe we should be live now. How's it going, everyone? My name is Mitchell Mander, and welcome to my live stream. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Horizons, episode 70. Tinkatink evolving into Tinkatuff, as we're on our way to the Crystal Pool in Kitakami, in the Rayquaza Rising arc. Okay, so, just to kind of give a little bit of a summary of what we do here. So if you're someone that's new, you're discovering this after the stream ends, or if you're just showing up during the stream, how's it going? Should join the chat sometime. Anyways, what we do here is I usually give it like about 5-ish minutes for people to show up. Once they're here, we have a little chit chat, and then I give a brief summary of the episode, assign a rating to the episode, then I give it over to the chat, let them talk about the episode. I'll read off the chat as well, and then we might talk about the next episode and what we think is going to happen next and all kinds of different stuff. So yeah, we usually have a good old time here. And also the music you hear in the background comes from a separate stream that it's called the Video Game Study Lounge from Game Shops. I have a link in the description for the stream. It's basically video game lo-fi remixes along with some originals here and there. And some Pokemon music tends to show up from time to time as well. But I usually listen to it when I am studying, I'm reading, I'm at work, I need something to distract me from the workday, so I'll listen to some of the lo-fi remixes. And when I'm working out too. So yeah, should check it out sometime. Anyways, yeah, if you're here, go ahead and vote in the poll and hit the like button. Let's try to get this. Let's try to get this this stream up to 10 likes. Rajith is here. You like the episode? Cool. Thomas, what's up? First half was boring. Yeah. Uh-oh. Give me a second, y'all. Let me know if you see something. Should be up now. Thank you for pointing that out, Pokefan. It did not explain how well Pokemon Trash lies, but it's still a good episode. Yeah, we'll probably learn more about that in the next episode. I had it here, it's just Streamlabs. Did not realize it was completely blacked out here, so I can always count on you, Pokefan, for saving the day. Maybe I should do that from now on. Just start out with it being black and then drop in the images in here. Just a thought for future streams. Super Plush Productions, what's up? Who has the strongest bond in Pokemon Horizons? Liko, Florgato, Roy, Crocodile, or Dot and Quaxwell? I'd argue Fuecoco and it'd be Dot and can't speak. Roy and Crocodile probably. Cap and the Pichu was cute. Oh yeah, that scene. That was one thing I did like in the episode. There's a lot of random scenes with different various Pokemon that was pretty nice that they're observing. That was pretty cool. When did Tinkatink hammer Hammer break. Off-screen land? Yep. Can't call Cap. You can't call Cap cute. He'll just start sneezing. Okay, well, been about 5 minutes here, so let's get started here in like 20 seconds. Which league that Ash did was the worst? It's either Indigo or a Unova. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started and give my thoughts on Pokemon Horizons episode 70. So, this episode, it starts off with us heading up to the Crystal Pool. We're on the Oni Mountain in the Kitakami region. But it's kind of just mainly just hanging out and checking on the Pokemon in the area and stuff like that as we're on our way. Tinkatink, I almost call it Tinkatuff. Tinkatink, its hammer has actually gotten a little bit longer, and it's actually, that's the whole thing is, Tinkatink was working on its hammer the whole episode, and, there's a Bombardier that is an absolute troll. It literally just drops items, which, I mean, it's its thing, but, like, it's an absolute troll. It just, like, drops all kinds of different things, just messing with people and everyone. It was kind of funny. Like, some of the things that dropped, like the water balls or whatever. It started out kind of light like that, but when Tinkatink saw that iron plate, it got like super absorbed in it and was going crazy with it. But then later on, I want to say they were kind of just resting, and then that Bombardier shows back up and drops a freaking Pineco on them, and it self-destructs. At least I think it was a Pineco, but it was kind of like a random scene. I was like, what? It went from like, oh, it's gonna drop like water balloons to like, oh, it's gonna drop like a frickin' bomb on them. But Tinkatink ends up getting separated, so they all go searching for Tinkatink in the episode. Also, before I get any further, the other the other members of the Rising Bolt Tacklers are hanging out at the village in Kitakami. Murdoch with his baked apple candies. Orla giving a baked apple candy to Metagross was actually kind of cute. Sneeze, sneeze. Then we have Molly taking care of Pokemon. We have the Nurse Joy from Kitakami making an appearance there. It's I call it hipster Nurse Joy shows up, which is kind of a little funny scene. And then we have the old man giving his baked candy or apple candy to his Quagsire because it dropped it on the ground. That was a nice moment. Anyways, back to the actual plot that's going on. So there's a few nice scenes here and there of just Tinkatink running into various different Pokemon and the other characters running into Pokemon, but eventually it ends up finding Bombardier's pile of items. It ends up finding the iron plate that it was working on originally. And this angers the Bombardier. But Dot and Quaxwell show up and they realize what's going on, so they end up trying to battle the Bombardier. And it ends up randomly terrestrializing. And it's a dark type, which is kind of neat. But anyways, Dot goes to terrestrialize Quaxwell, but before Dot even gets that opportunity, a big rock drops like almost right on top of her and Quaxwell. It turns out that there's two Bombardiers there. They're mates, so it's basically 2 versus 2v1 and one's terrestrialized. So Quaxwell's at a big disadvantage, and Dot lost her Terra Orb. And she's trying to find it as she's having Quaxwell just fend off. Tinkatink, seeing all this, starts getting to work on her hammer and the iron plate. Eventually falls down and ends up completing it and ends up evolving. And then Quaxwell and Tinkatuff, now Tinkatuff, end up teaming up, and they manage to defeat the two Bombardiers. Unfortunately, Dot was not able to terrestrialize, but she was able to find her Terror Orb later on. So, yeah, that's pretty much the episode. There's quite a few nice moments in the episode, but that's mainly what's going on here. So, it's a pretty decent episode in my opinion. Like I do kind of agree with Thomas, and I do feel like this episode's start was kind of a little on the slow side, but I think it got better as it went on. Oh, and yes, besides evolving, Tinkatuff also learned Play Rough, which was kind of cool. Forgot to mention that. So, an evolution and a new move. Nice. I mean, overall, like I think it was a slow first half, but like it kind of built up and it got pretty good towards the end. I do think that Tinkatink needed some more development before this episode, but it was still a nice episode and a nice evolution at that. I mean, it's kind of like your typical evolution in some cases where like the Pokemon are struggling and one evolves just to get stronger and help out. We've kind of seen that done a lot in the series, but this was still a pretty good episode. I'd probably say it's like a good solid 7 or something like that for me. I'm trying to think, do I have any other thoughts? I think that's it. Yeah, it was primarily a Dot focus episode. There was one random moment where Crocodile lost its egg, and I don't think they followed up on that. Maybe I'm like, maybe I just didn't notice it, but it felt like it kind of just like lost it for a second, and like next thing you know, it's got it. So I don't know. Someone can point that out in the chat. Okay, time to get back and get caught up on the chat. This week's episode honestly was really good. Honestly, I've seen absolutely nobody talk about it, but her overcoming her baby phase and getting tougher, hence the name Tinkatuff, was absolutely amazing. Then Tinkatuff was going to be a little bit bigger. I mean it's a little bit bigger, but like Tinkatink, Tinkatuff, Tinkatun, they're not really like huge Pokemon. It's the hammer that gets bigger, really. Though its appearance does change a bit. Did you like the evolution? It was a nice evolution scene. No, I'm not saying Tinkatink was weak or anything. In fact, the exact opposite. She was just timid and shy, so her overcoming that to save her big brother Quaxwell was just so wholesome. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. Those Bombardier can go screw off. Like, yeah, the decks say they do this for fun, but my gosh, they could have been killed. Yeah, I was gonna say dropping a bomb on them. I'm like, what? I was not expecting that. Or dropping rocks. I'm like, okay, you're just like killing people at that point. Tinkatink learned to play rough. Yep. I laughed when Tinkatink and Timber realized I swapped and then apologized. Yeah, that was a little nice moment I did like. There's a few other little moments, like the Clefairy one scene, and then the more Peku and stuff like that. I think that that aspect of the episode was pretty nice. Dang, where did everyone go? Went from like 10 people watching to 2 people watching. Oh well. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, it really felt like they were planning on having the egg roll away and Crocodile follow it, and it rolls near and feeding them, leading them to finding her. Yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of like, I saw that. I'm like, oh, they're actually tackling that already? I really want our main trio to catch a new Pokemon each. I get the feeling that we're probably heading in that direction here soon. Seeing as like the secondary Pokemon, are at least at their mid-stage evolutions. And one is fully evolved. Rip Som. Yeah. I can't see it anymore. I'm sorry. I just wonder if one of them's going to catch something in Kitakami before they leave. And speaking of which, once we get past talking about the episode, I do have some things to talk about regarding the next episode, because might make an amendment to what I said in my video. But yeah, I think this was a pretty decent evolution episode, I'd say. Hot take, I like Timber actually, but after that, nope. Rip Timber. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say regarding the episode. I mean, yeah, it is a nice evolution episode. I think next week's episode is going to be where we're going to be talking, because, like, the preview is very interesting. It was actually, it's actually gone in a little bit of a different direction than I was anticipating. So, obviously, guess we'll kind of pivot over to talking about the next episode. So, we are arriving at the Crystal Pool. It does seem like we got some more Pokemon terastallizing, as that Milotic is terastallized and attacking. So we're probably going to find out about the Crystal Pool and how it has, like, you know, a lot of qualities that are similar to Area Zero and stuff. Maybe we'll learn some stuff from Briar, because her ancestor. And I did have a thought. And I was kind of looking into Heath, the writer of the Scarlet book. Do you think that Lucius is do you think Lucius and Heath were, like, not companions necessarily, but, like, they knew one another? And maybe he accompanied Lucius on a trip to Area Zero or something? Because that's what I'm starting to think, is maybe we're going to get a connection there. Be expanding on something from the games that definitely needed some expanding. Also, another surprise for next week's episode was Purin, and it looks like Dot's battling Purin. Because we got Quaxwell versus Leafeon. So that was unexpected. I was not expecting Dot of all characters to battle her. And we're already back in town too, so we must not be spending, like, the whole episode at Crystal Lake. It'll probably be, or Crystal Pool, excuse me. Probably like half the episode, then the latter half we're back in town. And I guess that makes sense. We're probably gonna be going back to Crystal Pool because Diana is shown in one of the trailers for this arc as being present there. So I'm wondering if they're just going to be saving that mysterious character that Liko encounters for later on, or if it's actually going to make an appearance next week. It's hard to say. But I think we're going to be taking a second trip to Crystal Pool at some point. And our second trip will be with Diana. She'll probably want to see it. Trying to think what else, but it makes me think that they're... I know I had some kind of, like, concerns about... It felt like we were kind of running through Kitakami really fast, so I'm just like, what else are we going to do after this? But I'm like, yeah, we're pretty much guaranteed to go back to Crystal Pool at this point. When it comes to the, obviously, like, Ogerpon and, like, the Loyal 3 and, like, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, or whatever. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Not at least this arc, unless they just decide to hide it from us. But, yeah, I think the focus is going to be on the mysteries of the Crystal Pool and how it relates to Terrapagos and stuff. Maybe further hinting that Area Zero is going to be a thing towards the end of the series. Anyway, they get caught back up on chat. I think the reason I enjoyed this episode so much is being a Dot stan. I am so biased as hell. Yep, pretty much me too. Dot. I had my first criticisms for Dot in the prior arc, but this shows a little bit of growth here. I want to see like some of the characters like rematch some of the gym leaders, like Dot versus Larry again. Maybe being impressed that her Pokemon have gotten stronger. Or Iono. Liko versus Katie rematch needs to happen. If we ever get that opportunity. Maybe it's like a test before they go to Area 0 or something. Just to see if they're worthy or something. Or if they've gotten stronger. Guess we'll see. I want Liko to get a Charcadet. Because Armarouge is a Pokemon that fights to protect the others. Which lines up with Liko's character. Bruce said when Liko fights to protect others, her true strength arises. It would be nice. I just feel like that also we've kind of missed the boat on that now, since it did appear in that one episode with Rhyfort. Yes, plus it matches up with Amethio Cerulege, who said to be cruel and cunning while Armarouge is loyal and truthful. Guess we'll see. Can't wait for episode 71. Me neither. Nah, we were just going back to the Crystal Pool with Diana because she lost her hearing aid? In Kitakami? What, did we just fly over Kitakami and she just dropped it off the Bravasagi? My hearing aid! And then she forgot about it, and then she's like, Liko, you're in Kitakami. I'm coming there because my hearing aid clearly fell down there. Hopefully it's not destroyed. See you in 2 days. Finally, all of their Pokemon are evolved. If I'm being honest, I think this is the best secondary Pokemon evolution out of the 3 we've had. I'd say it's probably, yeah. I think each of them have been, well, Hatena's evolution, I will say, is probably the one, I wouldn't say it's bad, but like, it's probably my least favorite out of the 3. I think Kilowattrel still takes the cake. By the way, what's up, J-Dog McFly? How are you doing? Yo, Devin, what's up? How you doing? We just talked last night. It's cool they evolve, but a lot of them are rushed. Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of unfortunate, just because the secondary Pokemon are not focused on enough. I had the least criticism for Tinkatink just because that was the most recent capture out of the 3, but yeah. Still a pretty decent capture, but it needed a little bit more battle time. Since its first actual, like, official battle against another trainer was Larry. That still bothers me to this day. Don't forget Ash caught a Gibble after it already appeared and was caught by Corey in Diamond and Pearl, so she could still get Charcadet. We'll see what happens. I kind of want one of them to catch a Pokemon while we're in Kitakami. So, it would be nice. It's just which Pokemon would they catch? I know people have been saying Liko should get Hisui and Growlithe, but somehow I don't know if that's going to happen. But with Perrin here, she's clearly going to be leading us to Mr. Cleavort. And maybe she's like, oh my gosh, you actually tamed that Cleavor. Here, have a Hisuian Growlithe. Don't ask where we got it from. It was supposedly extinct, but guess what? I have one. At least she has more wins than... She has more wins than Kilo and Heterum, Orthworm, and Bombardier. Yeah, that's 2 W's. Kilowattrel has 1. Heterum technically beat up a bunch of Annihilate, but they're Annihilate that kind of, you know, were beating each other up, so. And then a few other Pokemon too, wild Pokemon. One YouTube channel I watch actually says that wild Pokemon battles count towards overall battle rate. Okay. That's fair enough. I'm disappointed about how early we see Cleavor. It seems that they are running into the heroes too easily and conveniently. Yeah, I'm kind of a little confused, to be completely honest, because, like, I feel, honestly, it's kind of weird to be placing Cleavor and Kitakami of all places, because, like, people are like, oh, is it gonna, like, for me, I'm like, oh, is it gonna be Sinnoh? Then other people are like, oh, it's gonna be found at Blueberry Academy, but the series is like, nope, Kitakami. Why? Reasons. I kind of feel, and I think I've said this before, I kind of feel like the reason why it's placed here instead of like Blueberry Academy or like Sinnoh is because they're saving Blueberry Academy for later on, and B, they want to avoid going to Sinnoh because we don't want to run into any past series characters. I kind of still feel like we should have found it in Sinnoh, but that's just me. But whatever. Nothing we can do about it now. Just don't make Entei just show up in Paldea or something like that. Watch, Entei's gonna be found at the Blueberry Academy. I hope I didn't jinx myself by saying that. So, if someone wants to, like, clip this and, like, show it to me later and be like, Mitchell Mander, see? It's because of you that the writers got the idea to place Entei in Blueberry Academy. It's your fault. There you go. Like I said last time, my hype for them catching another Pokemon has been dwindling. The most I can see is Liko probably catching Terapagos, but that's it. Next anime, we gotta get full teams back. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I get that this series isn't them going up against a league or whatever. It's kind of telling an original story, which is fine. But yeah, we'll see what the future of the series holds. That's the Pokemon lore for you. Sometimes they try, sometimes they don't. I don't blame Horizons for that. I'll blame the games. Yeah, that's the thing about it, is that sometimes they also like to retcon stuff too. They introduce Hisui and they're like, oh, like there's Hisui and Growlithe. These are Pokemon that are extinct that no longer exist. Very next game, here's Purrin with freaking Hisui and Growlithe. Off topic, but yesterday I really something. It was really something. So when the Pokemon is released in the anime, unless they're actually shown having various animation like Chimchar, Pokemon breaks it, then they're just roaming. Learn something interesting. Gotcha. Neat. Didn't actually know about that. It is weird how they decided to go to Kitakami and Cleavor just happened to be there. It would make more sense if they heard rumors of a Cleavor and Kitakami and therefore decided to go there. That's the one problem that I will say I do have with the hero Pokemon. I agree. It is very plot convenient that they're in certain areas. Like when we went to Paldea originally, back early on, Bolivia was there. Lo and behold, it's a hero Pokemon. And then we go to Galar, because the only reason we went to Galar was the rumors on Rayquaza. We're going after Rayquaza, and it leads us to Galarian Moltres. And then eventually Lapras shows up. Like, we still... my assumption is we found Lapras somewhere in Galar. Somewhere in the oceans of Galar. Because we never got an explicit, like, location of where Lapras was found. Unless I missed something. And then here we are in Kitakami. We're really here for... like, to meet up with Briar and get the information from her, but Cleavor just happens to be here? A Pokemon that, shouldn't be, just roaming out and about. Like that? Yeah, I get it. It is kind of just, like, a little bit too convenient. An argument you could make is that, the Rayquaza essentially was leading us to, the other heroes. But, like, it's still, yeah. By the way, Chrono Cross music. Remix. A good one, too. I mean, if it is in the Timeless Forest, it makes sense since the forest has history and Pokemon like Ursaluna and the White Basculent Legion. Can't pronounce it, huh? So putting Cleavor in the Timeless Forest makes sense. That's a good counterpoint. It does come off as random, and also, why didn't Cleavor just show up there? And why is it in Blueberry Academy in the games? Oh well. The Galarian legendary birds are bull. It's like the dex entry. Some people thought that this is Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, so okay. Are they or are they not wild? Good lord, we might give a crap, guys! That's funny. Is it Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres? Is it them? Is it not? I don't know. I guess we'll just slap a name on them. The Galar birds are just convergent before conversions were officially established. Fun fact, I heard somewhere that in terms of lore, the history cross-gen evolutions, Cleavor, Weirdeer, Ursaluna, Basculeon, Legion, or however you pronounce it, aren't extinct. They are still around, but really rare to come across, obtain. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, that's like an easy way of saying like, yeah, we're just retconning this. We'll just say it was very rare in prior gens. It's just their way of kind of tiptoeing around that. I love this lo-fi remixed. So good. Not that concept is dead because Rayquaza did not lead them to Cleavor. There you go. Maybe it just leads it to some of them. This is the Rayquaza Rising arc, so maybe it's just hanging out in the forest or something. You say that, and yet it counts for every cross-gen evolution to ever exist. That's because it's a retcon. Oh, that one guy who was so adamant about Cleavor being at BBA and practically now just never wants to acknowledge that they basically were in denial. Like, See, that's why you don't... How do I say this? Like, you can be adamant about that stuff, but at the same time, it's like... if it's proven wrong, or if they decide to do something completely different, don't act like you didn't actually think that. Like, we can sit here and be like, oh, this is gonna happen. Like, I could say, oh, Entei is gonna show up in Blueberry Academy, but then it shows up in Johto. You know what I mean? I don't know the future. It's called speculation. We can all speculate on what we think is gonna happen, and then the series does the opposite. That's the one thing that's kind of neat about it. It kind of keeps you on your toes, because you're like, okay, what's going to happen next? This is what I think is going to happen next, but oh wait, the series decided to do this, and they're doing this, you know. That's kind of what the fun thing about speculating and stuff is all about. But when you get people like that are just like stubborn in their ways, and they're just like, nope, I'm right, you're wrong. I do have a certain video clip that I'm gonna send. I'll tag you later, and you might be familiar with it already, but it pretty much sums up that individual. But yeah, that's why when it comes to when I do my discussions or whatever, it's all speculation, and it's just for fun. And I just want to have a conversation and be like, hey, what do you guys think? What we can agree and disagree and stuff like that, and then we'll see, ultimately who predicted the future better, I guess. I'm not here to have a contest with anyone, if that makes sense. It's just we're just here for fun. We're here for discussion. No need to get angry at one another, It's just fiction. Anyways, I've said this is a good example. Galarian Zigzagoon, the reason they're dark types is because they were wild in the OG ones. And they went on the boats to Hoenn and domesticated over time. That's decent. I don't know why we were never heard of the OG Zigzagoon before this, but I can let that go. Interesting. Not all retcons can be bad, though, but, that's the thing about a retcon, is you're, adding new information in that was, previously unknown. So, it happens. Pocket Monster, how's it going? I can see Entei being in Johto and the show using... Oh. That dude. You seen... Maybe. I mean, that'd be bringing back I think a character. Wasn't he in Johto? I'm pretty sure he showed up in Johto. Unless I'm thinking of another person. I can see Weirdeer actually being extinct because its Violet deck says. It said that this Pokemon used to be stronger long ago, but when it had many enemies, and it's even able to evolve under its own power. So now the evolution is due to natural overtime changes because less important. Or became... Let me start that over. So now the evolution due to natural overtime changes became less important, so it adapted to not need it anymore. Neat. The fact that they are trying so hard not to run into anyone from the Ash anime proves that it takes place in the same universe, because if it didn't, they wouldn't have an issue, because those characters have ever met Ash, or the current cast of characters. Yeah, we go to Galar, and we meet a gym leader we didn't see in the prior series. Could have been Nessa, though. Still hoping that Nessa shows up, please and thanks. But you don't run into any other gym leaders like B or whatever were in Galar. There's also no Dynamax, which was kind of a interesting choice. You seen is Suicune obsessed? Yeah, that's the only thing. They can switch his obsession like with Red 4. I mean they could, but I kind of feel like that we kind of go against the original premise of the character. So I'm not sure. If there's one thing that I think I've mentioned this a couple of times, this is off topic slightly, but like if there's one thing that I want, you know, what would be cool in this arc is if we had an opportunity to go to Hoenn, we run into Zinnia. Maybe she can give us some more information on Rayquaza. That's a good example of a character that could literally come back that didn't appear in the prior anime. Maybe she could help us get Rayquaza. That would be cool, but I'm not expecting it to happen. If it does happen, yeah, I'll be happy. I would have to see the friendship between Liko and Nessa. Tristan, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, jeez. Come over here, phone. Yo, Devin, what's your thoughts on Kitakami Nurse Joy? Just curious. The past legendary forms of the dogs make no sense to me. It totally contradicts the Burn Tower. Like there should be no past forms of Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. It's whack. Yeah, actually, you know what? You make a good point. I'm kind of like hit and miss with like their designs. Like I like Walking Wake. And then Raikou's Paradox form is pretty cool. But like Entei's, no. That one's horrible. But yeah, I see your point. Honestly, yeah, it really does need to happen because of all people, who else would be better? Yeah. That's a perfect opportunity. I want Karen from the Johto Elite Four. Have her battle Liko. It's like training, probably later on. Don't forget the L-Dogs. Origin story is a legend. Okay, so let me just say this, that actually has an explanation. TPC has confirmed the past and future Paradox Mons come from two separate worlds. One where the past never advanced and stayed prehistoric, and then the future ones became so advanced. Yeah, that's kind of where like Pokemon kind of gets into like wacky territory when you got like multiverse stuff, where it gets kind of like really convoluted. So what starters do you think should be in Legends EA? That's a good question. With Arceus, like the three starters weren't Sinnohmon, so I would say no Kalos ones for the main three. I'd say something like that would be good, actually. I'd say Torchic maybe for fire. Water. Maybe like Sobble. And then for grass would be I was about to say Rowlet, but I'm like, Rowlet was in Legends Arceus. Chikorita would be a good candidate, actually, yeah. So in that world, the burn tower thing probably never happened. I see. Chikorita, Tepig, and Sobble. Pretty close to what I came up with. I've been hearing people really say they want this to be in the present, because, you know, Legend mean Tale of the Past. Oh yeah, Kigami Nurse Joyce is kind of fire, man. That snapback I'd probably approach, man. I knew it. I love it. Snivy, Scorbunny, and Piplup. Interesting. Interesting. This has been a good stream. Yeah, just a reminder for you all to vote in the poll if you haven't already, and if you haven't hit that like button, I would definitely appreciate it. If you've already hit the like button, you've done your part. Superior and Empoleon have French-based inspirations, and I think Scorbunny. Or you mean Cinderace? Some French roots somewhere, really? Scorbunny. Get it? He's a bunny that scores. No ball. No soccer. So this bunny doesn't score. What do we call a bunny that doesn't score? It clearly doesn't. It's not Scorbunny. Oh, soccer. I see what you mean now. The way you spelt it threw me off. God, the bird tower never happening would be kind of disappointing, because I find that adds to the identity of the character of the Pokemon. Like, imagine how less interesting of a Pokemon Mewtwo would be. Fair point. Excuse me, I'm just vibing to the music. Okay, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Been going on for about 50-ish minutes here. We still got time for a little bit more. So is there anything else you guys want to chit-chat about, regarding this episode, next episode, and maybe... How about we do some predictions? What... After the whole Cleavor thing is settled, what do you think is happening next? For me, something I can immediately think about is Diana coming to to Kitakami to observe the crystal pool. Maybe we'll get some more information on Lucius, that third person that was hanging out with Lucius in the opening. Maybe some connections with Heath. Stuff like that. Maybe a capture. The question would be like, what Pokemon would Liko Roy or Dot potentially capture, and who out of the three would get said Pokemon? It would be neat if they could get a Pokemon from Kitakami, just saying. Just thinking about what it would be, though. Or in which one. Probably something to speculate more on. You know, once again, it could have not, but it also could have, for all we know. Again, all TPC gave us is these Pokemon either didn't advance and stayed feral, or became so advanced and robotic, depending on the alternative universe, or AU. A couple of fillers, because we know they're hinting at Tasaguri's backstory. Think we'll get something about that? Diantha is coming? Oh man. Oh no, man. You said Diana, don't troll me like that. Look, Devin, I know. What if I told you Diantha and Cynthia were coming back? How would you react to that news? Dot gets Bombardier for no other reason than a punching bag? Oh my gosh! That's funny. And also a bit morbid. Like, we're not done here. Get him, Quaxwell. Get him, Tinkatuff. And then they eventually become friends. Got any more thoughts regarding what you think the future episodes in Kitakami will entail beyond Cleavor? That was like my main concern when I made that video the other day. I was just like, it feels like we're running through Kitakami really fast. Like, it's like we get here and it's like we meet Carmen, and it's like Tinkatink evolves and Crystal Pool and meeting Briar and Perrin, and then going right into Cleavor, who just happens to be here. So I was like, oh man, we're running right through Kitakami, and there's we're not covering obviously the legendaries, so it's like, what else are we gonna do here? We'll at least get another episode at the Crystal Pool, though. Yeah, Murdoch was going to explain how they got on the ship, but he got interrupted. He said it was quite the story. I guess we'll see. So Bombardier having no remorse sadly adds up. Yep. That's how it be. That would be the best episode of the show in my book. 10 out of 10. I wouldn't care about the rest. Anything awful could happen, and I'd forgive it. Freaking goes, Grookey could start flying like Supergirl? Oh my gosh. That is funny. Well, I know what your favorite parts of the Masters 8 tournament were. Every scene with Cynthia, that whole, I think it was Cynthia and Diantha were watching the finals. Every scene with them on screen together was a 10 out of 10, according to Devin. I don't know if my last message sent, but I put a nature fact. Probably got blocked. Really? That's odd. What's going on with that, YouTube? Oh, lordy. Yeah, if you can't, if for some reason, if it doesn't show up here, you can also put it on the Discord too. In the usual spot. The same thing happened with Galar. They went there and Moltres just happened to be there. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's just like you should respond to rumors. Like Lapras, they respond, like, there were rumors about it, so then they went out and found it, you know? But yeah, I just feel like they need to, like, they should have handled this aspect of the hero story better. Because it's like they happen to just run into them. It's like, bro. In the entire world, you just happen to find the Lucius's Pokemon. I mean, Terrapagos could easily beam his way there too, I guess, and find them, but oh well. Oh, I already read that. It's just, I gotta wonder how we're gonna be handling the last, well, besides Rayquaza, Entei, the other last one. And the question is, when they have all 6 of them, are we going right to Rakua, or are we just like hanging out for a little bit as I try to figure out where to go next? And where does Area Zero factor into all this? Because we're definitely going to be making a trip there at some point. A little sleepy. I was streaming last night too, so... Okay, we've been streaming for roughly an hour now. Jeez. Where does the time fly? Every time I do these streams, next thing I know, an hour has passed. I don't know how. But you are all awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now that we've hit the 1 hour mark here, do you guys have anything else to talk about? Anything at all, just lay it out on the chat. Maybe the battle with Gibeon happens in Area Zero. Maybe. YouTube really doesn't like a certain word. Dang. Yeah, I'd say if it's just not working, go ahead and just put it into Discord, and I'll take a look at it later. Of course, I need my lunch here soon. But yeah. Sorry, got distracted. Okay. Alright. Anything else, y'all? Anything at all. Anything and everything. Give you guys just a minute here to respond. I'm just gonna read something really quickly. What section do you want to put it in? If it's just like a fact about Pokemon, you can just put it in Pokemon. If it's anything related to the anime, it can go in Anti-Poke. So I'd say probably just put it in the Pokemon chat. Then we should be good there. Okay, I put it in Pokemon since it just applies to the species as a whole. Sounds good. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the like, whoever liked the video. How's it going, by the way? Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. We be chillin'. But yeah, we're at the part of the stream where we're kind of getting close to wrapping up here. So again, if you have anything you want to say, just go ahead and put it in the chat. I know Pokefan, you're working on the one thing for Discord, so I'll let you do that. But anyone else got anything to talk about regarding the episode? Anything in the future for Horizons? Anything? Let me know what you got. Let's give you a couple minutes here. I see you're posting now. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, I just see it. Oh. I see. I just saw your post, Pokefan. Dang. That's crazy. Yeah, with nature. Yeah, there's a certain word there. that YouTube probably is like, nope. Like, nope, you can't post that. Okay. But, nah. That is, yeah, that, I don't know what else to say after reading over that. I'm kind of speechless now. So, okay, I'll do one more round here to see if anybody wants to chat about anything. Like I said, we're pretty much getting close to the end of the stream, so last calls for people that want to talk about anything. The floor is yours. Give you guys a couple more minutes and then we'll see where we're at. Okay. Anything at all? Well, I guess next we might go after Entei, but otherwise I don't know what we might do next. Yeah, pretty much. The question is, where in the world is Entei? Is it in Johto? Is it in Kanto? Is it in Blueberry Academy? Is it in Area Zero? We just don't know. And will we catch Rayquaza in the Rayquaza Rising arc? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, I'm pretty much out of things to talk about today. So, if there's nothing else, I think we could probably bring the stream to a close. So, yeah, we could probably do that now. So sorry if I've been kind of, waiting here for a couple minutes, but yeah. Also sorry if that's disturbing of a fact. I'm actually planning on working with and always loved animals, so my nature knowledge is best. And I remember that was one of Bombardier's Espirito ratio. Gotcha. Anyways, I got to go eat anyhow. Been fun. Alright, Pokefan. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you once again for joining, and yeah. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Rest of the weekend at that. But yeah, let's bring the stream to a close. So, it looks like we got 12 votes and 10-9 won? Wow. Okay. Seems like this episode was also well liked. So we'll end the poll. I gave it a 7, so I guess we'll give it a 9. How's that sound, guys? Alright, guys. Let's wrap this stream up. So, no stream tomorrow, but we'll be back on streaming Banjo-Tooie on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. We'll be back at normal time now, so that'll be good. But yeah, we'll be doing that, and we'll be streaming that mostly next week. And of course, we'll be doing Horizon stream next Saturday. At the normal time. Yes, we will be doing it at noon. No 11 a.m. anymore. At least for not right now, so. But anyways, that's all I got for today's stream. So if you're still here, thank you so much for joining. Have a good day or night wherever you're at. And I will see you all later. Bye.